We're going to have more Nueces County numbers and more statewide numbers in just a moment, but we have been watching some of the outlying areas as well, what we call Area 3 here.
And our Brian Burns has been on that all night, and he's got some of those numbers for us. Brian.
Some of the races that we've been following from Area 3 include in Refugio County, County Commissioner Precinct 2, Woodsboro businessman Stanley Drew Tuttle handily defeated Joe Vega 73 to 27%. In County Commissioner Precinct 4 race, Blaine Wolfshoel beat Rod Bernal 56% to 44% in that race. And in Justice of the Peace Precinct 1, Lorraine Garcia ran unopposed in the primary, but she actually came back and lost, even after a hard-fought race, to Mary Canales. The percentage is there 54 to 46. Actually, that's switched. It's 54% for Canales and 46% for Lorraine Garcia. In the Aransas County election, in the Navigation District, General Election, Commissioner Precinct 4, 4A, Victor Contreras was the loser in that race. Dave Hatman and Mickey Casterline, they are splitting up the vote 38 to 43% at that point. So from a strictly top number of votes, Mickey Casterline retains that seat. For the Commissioner at Large position in Aransas County, we have Ray Burdette and Tommy Moore, 52 to 34% of that vote. So Tommy Moore, the incumbent, is reelected tonight. In Clayburgh County, the county judge, the challenger, Leo Alarcon, winning 52 to 48%. Again, that's switched as well. No, I've got it. That's backwards, isn't it? We just got these numbers updated. Rudy Madrid actually did win 52 to 48% of the vote. For Judge County Court at Law, J. Dean Craig lost to Jaime Carrillo, and the percentage is there 66 to 44%. These numbers just in from B County for County Commissioner Precinct 2. We have 63% going to Dennis DeWitt, the incumbent, beating Maria Escamilla Davis. And in JP Precinct 4, Justice of the Peace, Leticia Cantu won 59 to 41% over Enrique Henry Jimenez. In Kennedy County, County Judge Chuck Burns losing to Louis Bud Turcott, the incumbent, and the percentages there 56 to 43%. And those are the big numbers. County Treasurer, we have the final number here, Cindy Salinas, beating Irma Longoria 58% to 41% of the votes. And those are the main numbers we have from Area 3 for you tonight. And of course, we'll have a complete wrap up of the unofficial results coming up on our webpage overnight. So stay with us there. And Rudy McKenzie, you have more for us.
Okay, thanks very much, Brian. Appreciate it. Let's go to the Nueces County Commissioner race, Precinct, what was it, 1? There we go, with Carolyn Vaughn, the incumbent. Not a very long incumbent, but she's there now, and she has won election to that position.
And then we have U.S. Representative District 15 with Vicente Gonzalez with 60% of the vote. They're Democrat and incumbent.
District 27 congressional race. This was the interesting one that really occupied our attention all year. With Blake Farenthold leaving so abruptly and so forth, and then Michael Cloud, winning that special election earlier this year, but still having to run against 3 opponents, including Eric Olguin, the Democrat, and Bill, I don't think you are surprised at all about what happened.
No, this is a very strong Republican identified district, which is how Farenthold maintained his seat for such a long time. And so not at all a surprise that the Republican incumbent Cloud would win.
All right. Can we go anywhere else, or you tell us? All right, here we go to the District 34 in Congress, Philemon Vela.
That's the district that mostly Cameron County, and Phil Vela, former Corpus Christi resident, husband of former District Judge Rose Vela from Corpus Christi, winning that easily as the incumbent.
And then we have District...
we have State Representative District 34, and we are not seeing any results with that race just yet.
Abel Heredo won that one easily, though.
Okay.
Okay. And in 43, down in the Kingsville area, J.M. Lozano, the incumbent, with no problem there. Tell us what we're doing. And we're going to take a break. We'll come right back with more election.